Welcome to my pitch for the quirky exploration game Sneaksters. In this game, the player, as a pair of shoes, must explore the world in order to rescue other sentient shoes while avoiding capture from style-crazed humans. The player's goal is to rescue the sentient shoes stranded in each level in order to progress to the next area. When the player finds another pair of sentient shoes, they must lure humans away from that pair in order to give them a chance to escape. The primary mechanics of the game are moving, hiding, style changing, and attracting attention. The player controls their pair of shoes primarily by moving them throughout the world. Hiding gives the player a chance to disappear and wait out human hunters. Style changing allows the player to switch into a more advantageous form with different attributes, and attracting attention lets the player hook a human and have them follow the player while giving other shoes an escape opportunity. The player is constantly being hunted by the humans of the world, controlled by the AI. Humans have one attribute that drives their behavior: style. This represents that human's favorite shoe type, and if the player is currently in that form, the human will receive a short burst of speed when they see the player. A danger meter shows the player their proximity to a human. When a human gets close enough to the player, they'll automatically capture the player, and the game ends, causing the player to restart the level. By choosing between hiding, style changes, and luring humans, the player can manipulate the humans and work with the setting in order to move humans around their paths and free their fellow shoes. The humans wander fixed paths, and these paths can help the player determine what the best route is for that situation. Each stage has a minimum amount of shoes to find, but the player can also choose to pursue all pairs of shoes in order to achieve the maximum score. Once the player has found the minimum amount, the player can move to the designated ending area and end the level to move to the next stage. There are 8 shoe forms in the game, and each form has 2 unique stats: speed and stealth. The attributes of each shoe type will affect how the humans react to the player. A higher stealth means that the player is naturally harder to detect even when not hiding. Speed affects how quickly the player moves in the world, making it easier to outrun humans. The player will see opportunities to hide when they pass by designated hiding spots. A pop-up indicator will reveal the hiding spot, and the player can press a button to hide in that spot immediately and can exit when they're ready. A human will know if the player has gone into a hiding spot if the danger meter is high enough at the time of hiding. Obtaining a higher score by finding more shoes is ideal. If the player receives a full 100% score, they gain 1 stat point that can be used to increase either stat on any pair of shoes currently in possession. The player can save these points and use them on shoes they get in later levels, but will only receive a bonus stat the first time they receive the 100% score for that level. The game will have 8 levels, with each level containing a unique shoe style to discover. These levels contain the different parts of the environment that allow the player to gather new styles. The player must find a style area and absorb it in order to receive the style. Once the player has found a new style, that style is available to be used throughout the subsequent levels. The theme of the game is exploration, and the tone stays humorous and lighthearted throughout. With only humans as the main antagonists, the player is free to explore and enjoy the environment at their own pace. The game is 3D over the shoulder. This helps keep the area in plain view for the player, but also makes sure that they aren't overly hindered by the camera when trying to explore or hide. The game is similar to Katamari Damacy in that the player will traverse and explore different contained environments where they might be preyed upon while they're in certain forms. In Katamari, the player is attacked by hostile creatures if they're under a certain size. In this game, the player will be attacked if they're in a more appealing form. The player is presented with multiple ways to help a pair of shoes escape, and will be able to influence the human behaviors based on the way they choose to use their strengths. Flashing an appealing style and running away with a higher speed shoe is a great way to lure a human with a burst of speed, but a prolonged chase might require different tactics. The player can complete the game with the default sneakers, and will see a corresponding difficulty change because of this. Creating intuitive AIs that can detect the current form of the player and react accordingly will be a challenge. By restricting the amount of forms and providing each form a variance of the same stat, the team can reduce the amount of pressure put on any necessary state machines. Sneaksters takes the mundane idea of a pair of shoes in an alley and makes it comical and engaging. Players can enjoy a silly experience while still feeling tension and strategy.